232 miles of road, carrying over 40 million vehicles a year. The M6 is the longest and one of the busiest motorways in Britain.
24/7, 365, the M6 is solid every day of the year.
Outside Birmingham, it meets 4 other motorways, and keeping them running is a constant battle for time and resources.
There are 101 different jobs on this motorway, yet not one motorist is aware of what we do.
A hidden army of men and women work day and night.
You ever lay down on the M6? I have. And I've played football on the M25.
Whatever the weather.
On the M5, you'll find your money. On the M50, you'll find the porn.
Every day they set out to control the chaos.
Right there!
Jesus. And to help us when things go wrong.
2-1, can I have an ambo, please?
Trying at all costs to keep Britain on the move.
Oh, God. Please. Oh, I think my tyre's blown.
Should call it the Mad 6 instead of the M6.
In 100 yards, at junction 15, turn left onto the M6. Turn left and enter the motorway.
Are we on the motorway again now, Seb?
No. We are.
We are. Look how fast everybody's going.
Why sit in the middle lane? They're not overtaking anything. Look at her, just sat there like a moron. Slows my journey down.
Got a Ford van, 22 Cobalt, Golf 03.
This is the Highways Agency's West Midlands Regional Control Centre, overseeing nearly 700 miles of Britain's fastest roads.
I'm just watching some police vehicles going through at warp speed. Whoa. Thank you, Joe.
The staff here are responsible for keeping the motorway traffic running at high speed and for spotting trouble ahead.
Yeah, from CCTV now, lane 3, we've got a wheel at that location.
There's his caravan.
Yeah, just further to this, there is a caravan in live lane on the slip road. Appears to be the offending vehicle that's lost the wheel.
The caravan wheel poses a big risk to the speeding vehicles.
I've got a lane 3 signal on to advise members of the public to stay out of lane 3. That's a blind bend, effectively. If someone hits that, it's going to cause a secondary accident.
That's all received, many thanks. Just advise they're not taking much notice of the lane 3 closure. We had got reports of a person in the carriageway.
The motorist looks like he's going to attempt to clear it himself. Is there a telephone number for the caravan driver? Yeah, he's gone into the carriageway.
Yeah, he's going back. He's crossing the carriageway. Up to Alpha Whiskey Mike 13. You've got mail in the carriageway collecting this wheel.
He's retrieved it. Obviously, on safety grounds, I wouldn't recommend that people go to get their personal belongings from a live carriageway when traffic could be travelling to them at 70 miles an hour. I wouldn't do it.
It only takes one motorist to do something daft, and it takes one person to be going a bit too quickly, and then you'll get the whole system, you know, in that area snarled up.
On the northbound M5, between junctions 2 and the incident, there's over 3 kilometres of congestion.
A prosperous society depends upon our roads. So there's a purpose to them, there's a reason behind the way they are designed and built, and ultimately it's about getting people from A to B as quickly as possible.
More than 40 million drivers use the M6 every year, all trying to reach their destination by the fastest route.
I like motorway driving because you can test the limits of the car, you can really sort of put your foot down, and because it's a fast car, you can drive fast.
Families on day trips jockey with salesmen driving up to 1,000 miles a week.
Look at this idiot here. On his phone.
Lorries carrying everything from nappies to environmental waste.
It's a vast business, the motorways. Everything on each lorry is money. We're not there on delivery on time, just brings a whole lot to a stop.
It's estimated that the cost to the British economy of stopping this road is almost £200,000 an hour.
If we all have moving traffic, we're all happy.
Drew, are you OK for a handover?
Duty Operations Manager Steve Bird is responsible for overseeing a team of 49 operators working around the clock.
The only thing that's going to impact this afternoon, which you make sure that the late shift are aware of, is the Beyonce concert at the LG Arena.
Yeah.
Super. All right, Drew, thank you.
The Highways Agency staff have 450 CCTV cameras and are constantly on the lookout for anything that could bring the motorway to a stop.
You can very quickly get an idea of what's going on by the activity in the room, the transmissions over the radio. So you can tell when you walk in the room what's going on generally.
At the top of Mr. Lima, 1, 2.
That's all noted, thank you.
Everything's routine. Noise levels, activity levels, everything's telling me that we're in a good place at the moment.
Oh, that doesn't look good. I can see it, mate. I can set it, but the signals are red boxed.
It's a broken down HGV that just hasn't managed to get onto the hard shoulder. He's got his backside sticking out. It's M6 junction 3.
By the sounds of it, it's possibly just a mechanical breakdown of the HGV. OK. I mean, it's unconfirmed yet, but I don't know until they arrive again what the update is.
Whiskey Mike 43 be able to take a life lane breakdown at junction 3 of Bravo M6. Got a vehicle protruding into lane 1, over.
Yeah, copied that. Do we know what this vehicle is, over?
It's HGV, over.
The stranded lorry is already delaying vehicles heading south towards Birmingham. Traffic officers Steph and Dean are part of a national team of over 1,000 Highways Agency officers. They need to move the lorry quickly before the problem escalates.
Out of his 8 wheels, 7 of them are on the hard shoulder, but there's still probably 5 tons of metal sat in lane 1, so not something you want to be running into, to be honest. Yeah, it's a priority to get it moved.
Right, if we try and drag it, is it loaded?
It's fully loaded. I don't think you'll shift it with that.
The lorry's brakes have locked on. While they wait for a recovery service, Steph and Dean have no choice but to close the lane.
Yeah, it's still doing full motorway speed. Hotel Alpha Whiskey Mike 43, lane 1's in place, over.
All that stands between the speeding traffic and the stationary truck are 12 50-centimetre high traffic cones.
I was going to say, pigging stinks, doesn't it? That's full of sewage. Is it human sewage? What? Really? It's human sewage. It's awful. It's a bit shit, isn't it?
Dean calls the lorry operator to let them know that unless their breakdown service arrives quickly, the Highways Agency will have to recover the vehicle
Don't swear at me.
and charge them £350.
Have you finished shouting? Yeah, all right, OK. If you're telling me they're coming, that's fine. But we have a lot of people... will you let me finish? If yours is en route, right, have you finished shouting and swearing at me?
Excellent. Not paying the blindest bit of attention.
I'll tell you what, mate, we've coned it all out, we've shut lane 1, but we've just nearly had it struck.
Not over. No. Eek, 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 eek.
It looked as though, is that his recovery? Yeah, recovery's just arrived now. So took about 50 minutes in total for his recovery. So we aim to sort of do within 45 minutes to an hour for a vehicle of that size.
How long's it going to be?
He says he'll just drag it off now, a couple of minutes,
Oh.
and then he'll do the rest on the shoulder.
Oh,
So
okay. That's mad, isn't it?
that was close.
On Britain's motorways, nearly half of all cars are exceeding the 70 miles per hour speed limit.
Never had a speeding ticket. Never go over 100. Too fast.
I get annoyed when I'm doing the speed limit and somebody comes right up the back of me wanting me to go faster.
Wow, that goes fast.
We are going fast, aren't we?
No, we're not. We're not going fast.
Millions of vehicles a year driving at high speed take their toll on the motorway infrastructure. Keeping the system running at this pace requires round-the-clock attention from an army of workmen. And there is one problem that takes more of their energy than any other.
Lovely pothole.
Across the thousands of square miles of tarmac, there are hundreds of potholes, waiting for Steve Taylor to detect them.
Another good day for it, Jed. The travelling public don't really know what I do. All they see is a motorway maintenance vehicle. 2 blokes sat in it. I spend most of my working life in this vehicle. I start as soon as we enter the motorway, turn the survey button on, we then turn around. If I come across a pothole, I then literally push a pothole button.
I'm sure within a few minutes all the potholes will start coming in.
Steve, chauffeured by his driver Jed, conducts his search for potholes 3 days a week at a steady 50 miles per hour.
You know, 182. It gets sent to National Control Centre.
Coming in now. This is Steve Taylor.
Yeah, Control. I'm currently on the Western Arm southbound on the M6. I've come across a reoccurring pothole.
Okay, we'll get that logged in, sign it too. Is it an immediate job?
Yes, yes. The last thing you want is a vehicle hitting a pothole or hitting any debris or anything like that. Because from one little pothole comes a major incident. It's a strong responsibility. First link of a chain.
Just confirming that you're up and ready and on the network, over.
It will be about 5-10 minutes max, over.
Yeah, that's all received.
Come on then, let's get some work done.
But potholes can't be tackled in high-speed traffic.
Hi, Xavier. I'd like a rolling roadblock for pothole M6, southbound. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Amy, the motorway maintenance company, can only carry out these repairs if the Highways Agency are prepared to bring the motorway to a halt.
Don't want to stop it at all, to be honest. But sometimes we have no option and we have to go ahead and do that. If we have vehicles that are breaking down because they're hitting potholes and it's causing punctures, we've got no choice but to go ahead.
2-1, we've got a pothole, rolling roadblock needed if you can switch to channel 2.
2-2, thank you. Block on from junction 9.
I'll let you know when we've got control.
Traffic officers Frank and Steve are responsible for slowing the motorway drivers down.
Hotel Alpha Tour cruise rolling block in place.
As far as you can see, I'm looking in my rearview mirror and I've got a tail of cars now, a tail back. They soon build up.
It's always best to keep the traffic moving if you can, at a very, very slow speed, instead of pulling it to a stop. If you've got to stop it, you've got to stop it, and there's no way around it. We won't keep you too long, so they just fill in a pothole in, okay?
What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?
No, it's a rolling block.
We have a lot of traffic now, as you can see from the camera. That is now going back just under 2 kilometres. So, hoping they release it shortly.
Don't hold the traffic up for too long, dear. If it's too long, they'll keep on asking how long, so it takes as long as it takes, doesn't it, you know what I mean?
Traffic has now been stopped for 3 minutes. With all of that traffic staring at you, I think you would feel the pressure, yeah.
It's a go-fast world. There is no getting away from it. It's a go-fast world. And we are just stuck right in the middle of it. We try to please the general public by keeping the maintenance of the motorways down to a minimum. 5 minutes out of your day is not a lot.
Yeah, we've completed this pothole now. You can let the block go. Many thanks.
All received, thank you.
Everybody's in a rush nowadays. There's that many irate drivers. It's ridiculous. Was it you who had the yoghurt over
Yeah.
there as well?
I've just done one, not me. And they just threw a full yoghurt pot out the car. It made blood when it hit me, man. I was just covered in yoghurt. All because we prepared something. That tastes nice. I think it was natural yoghurt. It weren't even strawberry or nothing, man.
I think people now want to get to point A to point B as quick as they can. And they're not bothered about who they upset or anything else.
This is Frank's 23rd year on the motorway. He joined the Highways Agency after 15 years with the Motorway Police.
I remember the motorway when it opened in 1972 across Ray Hall.
It can't have been as busy then, though, could it?
It wasn't, no.
No.
We used to finish at junction 9 and that used to be it.
Right.
And finish at junction 7, then they put the bit in the middle.
So you've seen huge changes then, haven't you? Just the horse and cart's got in the way a bit.
No, I'm not quite old age just yet.
But he's got his bus pass.
7 months yet, before I'm an old man.
The Highways Agency staff work 365 days a year.
I got it.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Did you get if you cross the skeleton and the detective?
I'm not sure.
Sherlock Bones. There you go, you like that one.
Go ahead, Tutu.
It's early on Boxing Day, which is often a troublesome day for the agency. In the past, thousands of shoppers heading for the Boxing Day sales have caused such big queues that Junction 9 on the M6 has had to be closed.
If you go historically, you've always got a considerable amount of congestion at Junction 9. They're all heading, in particular, just to the 2 shops which are next to IKEA.
Oh, look. They've started to park on the footpath already.
Only 10 to 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
See? Car parks are already full. And what colours are like.
Jesus Christ, look at this.
I don't understand the logic of opening at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's an environment that I wouldn't like to be in, a ferocious environment when people are there for X, Y and Z. and just checking to see if there is any congestion starting, because it's 9:20 and at present, no, there's still none, still light traffic.
Why is it not affecting the motorway at the moment? There's nothing happening on the air at all, is there?
No, nothing at all.
I mean, I thought my radio had gone dead or something.
It's normally when you don't expect something that it all happens, so it's fairly quiet.
We prohibit the Q word. At the minute anybody unleashes the Q word, it all breaks out.
Doesn't look any busier than when we went away before.
Dear me.
Whoa! Keep going. RTC there. Hotel Alpha Whiskey.
Other side.
Whiskey Echo 2-1. Priority. I want some. Got to get the debit. We've got RTC on the M5 northbound, just to Priority Junction 1. We've got debris all over the place. It's a crossover.
Hang on.
It's a crossover.
Well, just give us some lights and.
Yeah, we've got a crossover from the southbound onto the northbound.
Yes, we've got you on camera. We'll get signals, let's have it.
I've got it. 7055, I think. That is. We've got a crossover on the M5. It's on 7055. That's the camera.
Echo 1-1, go ahead.
Yeah, that's received. Do you need ambulance at all, Abba?
I'm just on the northbound. Are you all right, darling? 2-1, can I have an ambo, please, on the northbound 2-1. Person with mouth injury.
The car has hit the central reservation, and the engine has ended up on the opposite carriageway.
Yeah, facial injuries to her mouth as well.
Yeah, it's everybody else over the other side. If you can just keep over there, please.
The front there is severely damaged. The vehicle looks like it's ridden up the barrier here. And as it's done that, it's obviously ripped everything out and the engine's come out of it.
I've never known that happen before. Very lucky.
Frank's priority is to get the 4 blocked lanes clear and running as quickly as he can.
I've got the vehicle in lane 1. I've got a load of debris in lane 3. Received.
It's 9:30, and the Boxing Day traffic has begun to build.
If I go back to this camera, that, as you can see now, the congestion's back to the M6, and that is the congestion from the incident on the M5.
No, it's not that hot.
Till they get here, till they just throw some of their cones. Look at this lot. Look at it.
Fire on scene there, so we'll be able to get it across to the hard shoulder before you know it.
I was just in the middle lane coming around the bend and the car just started to swerve to the left and there was like a lorry or a truck or something in that lane. And so I tried to right myself and I've just gone straight into the central reservation. Glad that it's not a lot worse than it is.
And where are you off to?
Off to Nuneaton. It's a Boxing Day meal. Which I'm obviously not going to get to now.
Luckily, it's not a bad injury, and so I think now it's the barrier damage that's going to be the key issue. It's virtually flat, so it may need to be replaced sooner rather than later, which could take 3 or 4 hours, it's an estimate.
For safety, the motorway maintenance team decide the barrier must be repaired immediately. There is nothing else the Highways Agency can do but wait 4 hours while it's fixed.
It's one of those things that we face every day when we come in, you know. You think one thing's going to happen and the opposite does. Because we've got 2 lanes closed of what would normally be a 3-lane carriageway, we've lost 66% of the capacity there. So that's having a huge impact for thousands of road users.
They have to wait till everybody else gets through. There's nothing we can do. Our priority is this. You've got to have a smile because life's too short. There's enough miserable people without us being miserable, isn't there?
Drivers on the M6 are monitored by the Central Motorway Police Group. 96 officers form part of a specialised team, equipped to deal with trouble in a high-speed environment.
Morning all. Anybody want a donut now, or should I put them in the restroom? They're Tesco's finest, actually, and they're only little ones, you see. Thank you. I know.
Viv Baldwin has been a volunteer here 1 day a week for the last 5 years, offering support for the frontline staff.
Look, I've got donuts. I'm on a diet. I know. Come on, what are you talking about? Have a donut and shut up. No, diet. It's all right. It's quite sort of...
She's just somebody easy to talk to and to bounce things off.
I'll put these donuts away then.
She's fun to talk to.
Yeah.
She's fun to talk to.
And she brings donuts.
And she brings food.
Which is also a bonus. Holy donuts. Oh, see that? Holy donuts.
I like your
She'll
style.
like that. You'll kill me when you fail your fitness test. It's not my responsibility to look after their bodies. It's their souls I'm after. Oh, there's Martin. Let's go and see him. Right. That's it. That's okay. It's sort of on, more or less. It's not very comfortable, but I'll stop feeling it's not comfortable in a minute. And that turns me into a vicar.
Today's duties, first of all, Oscar Tango 2-1 is going to be Tony and Cash, please. Oscar Tango 4-1, Viv, if that's okay?
That's fine.
As you're going to be comms lady tonight.
But
Just
yeah.
remind everybody about their responsibilities regarding driving, please. Making sure that we all go home at the end of the night and members of the public do as well.
To our families.
Excellent. Viv, anything from yourself at all?
Do you want a prayer? Everybody happy with a prayer? Yeah? Okay, let's say a prayer then. Father, we thank you for all the work that's done on the motorway, for everyone who holds the motorway together and makes it work from end to end. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Viv.
It's a stressful and dehumanising job.
Viv, do you want to come in and obviously camp?
Yeah.
Do you want to come in and just...
They're dealing with all the worst stuff. And, you know, the police officer can come in and just talk about it and don't have to worry about what they're saying. And they find that really, really helpful. I'm an independent listening ear, and I just hang about like a bad smell.
Tonight, the grandmother and clergywoman is spending an evening with PC Dave Gaunt. They've just received an emergency call to stop the M6.
Okay, we're on the way to a girl that's on the bridge. She's on the right side of the railings at the minute, and just been tasked with going to shut the motorway northbound, just in case she does go up onto the bridge, onto the wrong side and try and jump.
I mean, nobody's going to pass us right now at 110 miles an hour. 120 miles an hour. I'm just thinking about this lady who's thinking about jumping. I just think how sad.
Closure's on northbound.
There's somebody coming up lane 3 and on the slipway, so that will stop.
Well, she's on the bridge up there, walking up the centre of the bridge.
I don't think anybody's bothered to put a closure on the bridge, have they?
They've got her. They've got her. They've got her.
Should have to speak, thank you.
Do you know if we can release the traffic yet? Lucky escape.
Yeah. How do you feel about those, Dave? Because you know, I just get all worked up about the fact that this woman is all upset and wants to jump, and we have to dive in and grab her.
Well, you are. I try to look. It's probably awful to think that you're looking at it from the motorist perspective. It's like people are probably wanting to be somewhere. You've just shut the motorway, stopping them from moving, and so you feel for them because they're going to get held up. But you also, you know, it's one of those when you're on top of the bridge. At what point? I know you saw the officers rushing towards her. Somebody grab her, and then the others rush. You know what I mean? It's like, is it going to go pear-shaped? Has he got a good firm hold of her? Is she going to struggle? Is she going to? You know what I mean? There's lots of things. If you lunge for them, if you miss and they jump, you know, is that going to be your fault? It's lots of things going through your head.
Going on here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The motorway's a great road, but it can be an absolute nightmare because if there is a hold-up, you can't go nowhere else. But once you're stuck, you're stuck.
You can understand why people get angry and road rage and that frustration. That's time in my life I'll never get back. Never ending. Oh, he's going backwards.
Congestion caused by motorway closures costs the UK an estimated £1 billion a year, so small repairs need to be done quickly with minimum disruption. On a filter road just off the M6, a recurring pothole needs urgent attention.
You get a motorcycle that hits that, then we could end up on another motorway if he hits there.
It's going to cut out the square patch, go right down to the core and do it properly.
To repair the large pothole, the Highways Agency will have to close one of the lanes.
He said 30 to 45, but I'm saying 30 to an hour.
When you've got two lanes and you've got to take a lane out on a busy section, you get the traffic backing up and then create more problems then.
At the moment, he's not having much problem. It's going to be in the next few hours when he starts building up.
But not long after the roadworks start, a bigger problem appears on the horizon.
Abnormal load, taking up two lanes. If he goes onto the M5, we've got a lane closed there. Oh no, don't go down there. Hey mate, it's Highways Agency. Just to let you know, you've got an abnormal load coming down that arm. It's taking up two lanes.
You just splat the cones everywhere, isn't it?
He's going to go for it, isn't he? No chance. He's not going to get through.
To get past the roadworkers repairing the potholes, the truck carrying the wide load slows down to a walking pace.
He's close to that barrier. Ooh, well close to the barrier. That guy could have got there and had to have stopped. So then you've got that traffic behind it, which has stopped it as well. Now what is caused is quite a fair tailback. Now that'll go back onto the M6. You know, anything after 3 o'clock, you're going to get phenomenal traffic. You've got school runs coming out, you know, and this is going to go way back to Junction 9 now, just because of the abnormal load.
The M6 and other motorways around the West Midlands cut through a conurbation of cities and towns. During peak hours, local traffic and commuters flow onto the network, rushing to and from work.
Hoping for a nice steady day. Everybody being able to get away to where they need to go safely. Minimum delays. That's what I'm hoping for.
Tony, camera 5989. We found our RT seat approximately 198/6 in LBS 3 received.
T1 got reports of 4-car RTC, junctions 10A to 10 on the junction 10 lever slip received.
Thank you, we're just going.
Oh, we've got another job.
Traffic is now restricted to using 2 lanes instead of 4.
We've set the appropriate signals to close the 2 lanes behind the scene. It's a Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock. It's extremely heavy congestion at the moment anyway.
Signal's up now, so most of the public are paying attention to them and getting out of the way. Well, he's oblivious, this guy is. There you go, well done.
The congestion builds up incredibly quickly. It's estimated a mile a minute, but I would say on the M6 there it's probably faster than that.
We've got a vehicle in lane 4. It looks like it's just 2 cars. I would imagine the crew will attend the scene and they'll close lanes 3 and 4.
Yeah, CMPG are just coming northbound. They're asking if we can actually stop the carriageway so then they can access by the exit slip.
Yes, you. Stop.
Mike Alpha Tango Sierra 79.
All received. All stopped.
Frank has now brought the entire southbound M6 to a standstill.
The decision to close the motorway, it's a huge decision because we know that it's going to affect thousands and thousands of people. The cost of freight that's delayed, that might miss a time delivery, the cost of business meetings that are missed, the cost of people making their way to airports, ferry terminals, going on holiday and have to miss that flight or that ferry crossing. It's at the forefront of our mind that we have to get these incidents cleared as quickly as possible to get everything restored back to its normal way.
We've now got approximately 9 kilometres of congestion on the M6 southbound. This is the congestion. Quite considerable, really. As far as we can see, continuous traffic. Now got another incident on the M5. They're like London buses, they never come in, they always come in 2 and 3s. We've got 5 accidents and 2 vehicles broken down, 1 in lane 3. We've actually got more congestion northbound from people looking over. Okay. Yeah. Possible suicide. There's a gentleman sitting on the wrong side of the railings on the overbridge of the M42. Our job is to stop the traffic. We've got to position crews north and south. Okay. Okay. I'll try and get an East Mids car down. If we have any incidents, any overbridges, attempted suicides, possible jumpers, our procedure is to stop all the traffic running underneath the bridge. So we shut both carriageways, north and southbound. Disruption can be huge for the general public.
On the M6, the Highways Agency traffic officers have managed to open 2 of the lanes.
Our pressure is to get the lanes back and the motorway running as normal as quick as possible.
But to clear the scene of the accident, all 3 lanes must now be stopped again.
It's a long drive home for a few people tonight, and of course, unless they hear it on the radio, they've got no way of knowing why they're sitting in a queue, not moving, which leads to exasperation.
Can you remain there, sir, for 2 seconds, please? Yes, no problem. While I throw all the cones across, they're pulling a vehicle across onto the arch shoulder. Wait there! Wait in front! Excuse me, we've stopped these for a reason!
Hang on there, please. Don't move. They're moving a vehicle there. Hang on. That's why everybody stopped.
Is that police on the bridge?
So police have arrived on scene now. In reality, we've got so much to do, you don't have time to panic. There's so many steps to take. There's always more precautions you can take this end. And again, sadly, it's quite a common occurrence.
Hold on, I think it's all done. It's the right side of the barrier now. Yeah, that's received. He's the correct side of the barrier now. We're just calling police for an update to ensure that we can release traffic.
It's good, all over.
By the time the traffic officers stopped the M42 carriageway, the man was already being escorted off the bridge.
It's a great relief when the police get them back over the right side of the barrier and take them away.
The M42 was only stopped for a few moments, but the accident on the M6 closed lanes for an hour and a half.
The crew have dealt with it. The driver has been checked over by ambulance and they've opened all lanes.
Suicide threats can be as often as one a week, and they've been known to close motorways for long periods of time.
We've had one on our region that's gone on for over 24 hours. During a really busy period, a summer period, where people were trying to go on holiday, and there was nothing we could do. We had all the professionals on scene trying to talk this gentleman down. And that can get quite hairy. Yeah. The impact on the network is huge. You then get the thousands of complaints that we're going to get in, and you have to deal with the general public. On scene, there were reports of the general public actually shouting at the possible jumper, you know, to throw himself off the bridge and stop wasting their times.
PC's Carl Davies and Mark Crozier are collision investigators working with the Central Motorway Police Group.
When a collision or a suicide occurs on the motorway, it is more significant because of the speeds that are involved. Vehicles can be completely destroyed, bodies can be completely destroyed in a high-speed impact, which obviously makes our job as investigators a lot more difficult to unravel the circumstances surrounding that.
We certainly don't have the fluffy pink side of policing. We get the most horrendous part of it all. We have to deal with and we have to see the most horrendous things.
That was quite serious then, wasn't it?
It was.
Need to lie down.
Every day, Carl and Mark deal with the fatal or life-changing incidents that occur on the road.
So it's 4 years, we've been working together 4 years this April. And it's probably been the best 4 years of my career so far with the team we've got here.
That's beautiful.
We got nicknamed the twins, didn't we? I think it's because we're so good looking. We both look alike.
It's because we're gorgeous.
If you've witnessed trauma, you've got to get through the day, and humour and taking the mickey out of each other and anything really in the office is just, it just diffuses the situation because you see some horrible things and then the way you deal with it is humour, and that's the way you get round it.
It's 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Traffic officers Karen and Colin are on the early shift.
What did I say the other day? We know a flock of sheep, a herd of cows. What do you call a group of pigs?
A swine or a drift. Or
something like that. And I said, well, what do you call a group of traffic officers? And I said, a moan. A moan of traffic officers.
A whinge.
Hotel Alpha, Whiskey November 21 over. We get reports of an animal. Junction 9 to 10 of the M6 over. Approximate 199 over 4. You can see a dead animal in lane 3. Stand by. Okay. Yeah, we need police there, please. This is part of a human body. We're doing what looks to be a leg with a foot attached. Hang on, yeah, we're seeing more bits. I don't know whether you want to think about stopping the traffic.
1 and 4, we're going to put a closure on. Yeah, 2 was make up to the 54, and we'll close the main carriageway to the 54. Proceed.
You shut the main carriageway. There's another crew shutting the M54 where that joins onto the M6. And we just got to wait for the police now to sort that bit out.
A mile-long section of the M6 is now a crime scene. The police have taken over the motorway. The Highways Agency staff no longer have control of the road.
So this will be going on for quite some time today, because they'd have to find out whether he was a possible suicide or something. We don't know if it's a female, we don't know if it's a male, but no, it's just sad. It's not nice, and wouldn't want to be the guys that have been on road, because they're there and they're like, they've come across it and they've seen whereas we haven't seen as much.
Colin and Karen are heading back to Hilton Park to have a bit of them time and calm down. Colin will be okay, Karen will be in pieces because I like Karen a lot. I mean, we work a lot of shifts together, so I do feel for Karen. Colin will be fine, he's a good lad.
A little bit down, but it's to be expected, I suppose. One part of the job. There are good parts and bad parts.
You don't really get to know what happens after this, do you? We don't usually get to know.
No, you don't want all the details, but it's just nice to know some of the things. Who, possibly why.
Yeah.
Eight miles of 2 different motorways are closed as people set out on their Saturday morning journeys. There's already 3 kilometres of traffic queuing to divert off the M6.
It's police-led, so they're just going to do the investigation work, and we're waiting for an update as to when it can be reopened.
OK, we're looking at 2 hours for reopening.
I'd say it'll be longer than that. 2 hours, you're looking at what, 11, 12 o'clock?
Yeah.
The coroner's now on scene, and then fingers crossed, hopefully within the hour and a half, we should have the motorway back open.
Getting on for time-wise. Painfully slow though, this, isn't it? Goes on like this.
There's nothing that we can do.
I know, it's so frustrating. You start to get a build-up of shopping traffic now for Warsaw.
Definitely, yeah.
Football traffic heading north.
Warsaw at home, but I can't imagine that will have much
Arsenal
impact.
travelling up to Liverpool.
This is sort of the time where the congestion volume goes up.
On the M5, Bravo.
The police investigation on the motorway has been carried out by PCs Davies and Crozier. It's now 5 hours since the M6 was first closed.
Well, the motorway operate a clear policy, which is basically get the motorway up and running as soon as possible. Our job hinders that in the fact that we could be at the scene or at a scene for a number of hours. My personal point of view is, until we've got all the evidence that we need to answer all the questions that the family are going to ask, then I don't care how long the motorway is closed. Bottom line is the family come first.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been motorists stuck in long tailbacks, and unfortunately, you forget that at the end of it, somebody is probably crying at home over just being told the worst news possible. The whole scene, we were there for 4 hours, and in that time, we've identified the gentleman where he lived, where his vehicle was, which was nearby, where the point the gentleman landed on the carriageway was, who his next of kin were, and the officers were deployed to go to his family as quickly as possible.
With regards to today's incidents, you imagine going into a family home, telling their loved ones that their next of kin has died.
Do you ever get emotional?
Have I ever got emotional? Yeah. Not at the time, afterwards.
Control of the closed motorway has now been handed back to the Highways Agency. But before drivers can be allowed back onto it, there is more work to be done.
It's Veolia who are a clean-up crew for cleaning up spillages, and I'll be led by them. If they're happy, then we're happy and we'll reopen it. So that's all we're waiting on, really, is to clear it up, because the last thing you want is to be driving through it, unfortunately. It's a waiting game. They reckon an hour. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a bit earlier, but we'll see how they go. Can't hurry it along, so.
They do have a sweeper with them. They're estimating an hour. I'll see if I can shoot them along, but it'll take as long as it takes.
That's all received, over. Another hour. Did you hear that? Yeah. Go ahead, over.
You have to feel for the family. And it's a shame. It was that, what I think about was that loneliness, just the two of us there at that instant when it was dark and damp, and there was nobody else there. That was the. I wouldn't say it was a scary place. It was terribly lonely. It felt terribly lonely, you know. I knew it wasn't, because there were cars coming past. But it was just that split-second realisation that gets you. As I say, we've been to fatals before, but you know you go into those fatals. The adrenaline's pumping. You know what you're going to expect to a point. But it was just the shock of finding something that you weren't expecting. That was the difference. And you have to deal with it then, which is very fragile. And it takes a certain kind of person to handle that, I think.
Hello?
You all right, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, Roads are clear now. Roads are clear. We had all the traffic this morning, and it's died down now.
Are we here?
Not there yet.
All just sat in the middle lane. Ridiculous.
We'll never win the battle against potholes, not until the flying car comes in.
Yeah, we have a block on at 6 over 6 on the M5 Bravo.
That's what we see. Proper uniform on 5 copy. Got somebody coming up the hard shoulder. That's illegal. Yeah, too, when you got a couple of vehicles coming up the hard shoulder to you. When one goes, they'll all go. Some more coming now as well. People in their minds think, oh, if he's doing it, then I can do it.
It's all complete. You can lose the block out, please. Over. Many thanks for your help. That's all we see. We're releasing the block now. 218.
Bickies.
Look, I've told you, you'll go to hell. That is why I come to work.
The dream of owning one of those one day.
That is a 1967 Mercedes 250 SL Pagoda top.
Modern cars are fabulous, fantastic. They've got so many qualities that the old cars haven't got, but they don't have that style. They don't have that. They don't exude that panache, that elegance that the old cars do.
Everything around you seems to be going at 90 miles an hour. Everything is rush. Me, if I go away or go out for the day, you know, the shortest time I spend on a motorway, the easier it is for me. It's a slab of tarmac. It goes through some gorgeous countryside, so why not take a B road and enjoy the countryside? The motorway is far too quick. I find this stressful, to be quite honest with you.
Next time.
It's a car travelling the wrong way down the motorway. That's one way of missing the queues.
Meet the men and women who clear up when things go wrong.
Leeks, carrots, parsnips, turnips.
I've seen it all now.
We always get the blame for closing lanes, and it's not us that closes the lanes, it's the accidents.
A lot of the milk has gone into the drains, trying to stop it getting into a pond. Milk is worse than most stuff.
The last one I did down here was loaded with salmon. You smell a little bit, you know. Every little helps.